Today I wanted to make a video breaking apart some of the patch notes for the Turning Tides DLC. There are some really important points in here, some new features, and some big changes, and even more that you might not immediately notice when you're playing the game. So, we're going to start off with the new specializations. I've been rather vocal about these since they were added to the CTE for testing maybe a month or so ago now, but you'll be pleased to know that most of the controversial ones didn't make it into this patch. What did make it are some very good ones that promote team play, which is exactly the direction these specializations should be going in. Now bear in mind, these specializations need to be unlocked and applied to kits before they have any effect on your soldier. These aren't just new things that your soldier gets, you have to make a choice about which ones you want applied, with 3 of them being applied at the same time. There are 8 new specializations being added to the game, with 4 of them being dedicated to the pilot and the tanker classes. You've got 2 for each, and this is the first time that those classes will be getting some specializations. But I'll start with the first 4 that are available for the main infantry classes. Number 1, we have Pilferer. This is for the Assault class. Now when this is applied, when you kill an enemy by a melee attack, including a bayonet charge, the person that you killed will drop an item relating to their kit. So if you kill another Assault player by meleeing them or bayonet charging them, they will drop 3 AT mines. If you kill a medic, you'll get 3 bandage pouches that you can then throw out. If you kill a support player, you'll get 3 ammo pouches that you can then distribute, and if you kill a scout, you will get 1 spotting flare to use. The intent behind this is to allow an assault player to provide more support for their team, rather than being that lone wolf, explosive-centric class. This is actually one of my favourite new specializations. I really want to unlock this one, and I will be applying it to my assault classes once I unlock it. The second new specialization is called Reciprocity, and this one is for the medic class. Now when this one is active, every time you heal a friendly player, you yourself will gain 12.5 HP. If you already have the maximum 100% health, you will get no benefit. But this addresses a small gap in the gameplay loop, where if you use the bandage pouches, sometimes you'd be healing other players at the expense of healing yourself. So Reciprocity fixes that problem. Specialization number 3 is Perseverance, and this one is for the support class. Now when this is active, if you hold your repair wrench whilst walking, that walking speed will increase by 25%. And that means you can keep up with vehicles if they move slightly whilst you're trying to repair them. And you will get a 20% damage reduction from all explosives whilst you're holding the repair wrench as well. This specialization has been added to help support players not instantly die when they're trying to help their team's vehicles keep moving forwards. Splash damage from incoming explosives towards tanks means a lot of the time support players get killed at the moment they're trying to help their team the most. Ripple is the 4th specialization to be added, and this one is for the Scout class. I did take issue with this one before DICE clarified what it actually does, and they've done that here. After you headshot an enemy, the next time you spot a player, it will appear as an outline on the minimap around the thing that you spotted. This will then also spot any players who are in that area as well. The intent behind this is to give the Scout more power to support their team in those larger battles where spotting players can be very, very helpful. This is a slight change to how Ripple used to work, where the spot would occur the moment you got a headshot kill, which didn't really promote spotting at all because you didn't actually have to spot anybody for it to work. Now you actively have to spot another player, and once you do that, a sort of field around them will open up, and anything else within that circle will also be spotted. So for me, this is a good team play function. Moving on to those pilot and tanker class specializations now. The first one of those is called Cloud Cover, and this is a pilot class specialization. When this one is active, the time your plane is spotted is decreased from 12 to 6 seconds. The intent here is to give pilots a bit more breathing room when they've been spotted and the chance to escape the eyes of the enemy on the ground. We all know how powerful those AA cannons can be. This doesn't stop, however, somebody respotting that plane the moment it disappears, and then of course it will just start that loop again for the next 6 seconds. Safe bail is the second pilot specialisation. When a player exits your aircraft, providing you've got this specialisation equipped, they will be followed by a spotting flare. This is to give the player that's para-dropping out a bit more information about what kind of situation they're about to land in. It could be full of enemies, so the spotting flare will then let them know where those enemies are likely to be. And the last 2 specialisations, these are the tanker class ones. The first one is called Critical Cover. This one deploys smoke automatically when your tank is disabled, and that gives you some soft visual cover so that you can make emergency repairs, or you can even hop out and use the repair tool to repair faster. There is a 45-second cooldown on the smoke deployment, however, so this specialisation cannot be spammed. And last but not least, we have the Convoy specialisation for the tanker class. Whilst you're self-repairing your own tank, other vehicles within a 10-metre radius of you are healed as well. They get 2 HP per second for as long as you self-repair. This is intended for vehicles moving across the map together to be a stronger force. These new specialisations, especially the 4 new ones for the main infantry classes, they are quite interesting and they all feed into that team play idea. Now Ripple is a little bit contentious because in spotting one person you may spot 20 who are in the vicinity, but we'll have to see how that one plays out. I don't think it's going to have a huge effect on gameplay really. So that's the new specialisations, and we're going to move on now to some more important new features, and this section should make both PC and console players quite happy. The first point, DICE has applied an update to the aim assist system to make it more subtle than it has been in the past. This should mean that the snap to target issues that console players have been complaining about since the launch of the game should be far less prevalent now, and zooming in on targets should still leave players with a little bit of work to do before firing their weapon. Now, as I don't play on console, I can't really comment on the change overall, but on paper, it sounds like the fix is here that people wanted. DICE has also applied a fix for the ADAD spam and the crouch sliding crutch as well. DICE has adjusted the soldier acceleration values to make sure the intended new movement system works correctly at all different tick rates, including 30, 60 and 120 Hz. This has been applied to PC and on console. Now, the crouch slide crutch, which was rife on PC, has also been addressed with a cooldown being applied, so if you continue to try and spam the crouch movement, you're just going to end up going slower and slower, and eventually you'll just be crouching up and down on the spot. It's going to stop players contorting their bodies to avoid bullets, and the ADAD spam means the exact same thing. People won't be drastically moving around anymore, which means shooting at them should be much more predictable. You should be able to land those shots with a little bit more ease. And lastly today, we're going to wrap up with some more general fixes, most of which apply to this DLC directly, as they seem to have naval combat in mind. Now, DICE has added self-repair to the Y landing craft and the torpedo boat, meaning the captain can self-repair just as you can in planes and tanks on the ground. This will be quite important on the Cape Helles map, maybe Albion from the Russian DLC, and the upcoming North Sea maps in January 2018, Zeebrugge and Heligoland Bight. There are going to be lots more of those boats around, so having self-repair seems to make sense. Dynamite has now been changed so it works properly in water. It's now covered in wax, so it's waterproof. I didn't even realise it didn't explode in water, but apparently it doesn't. The coastal gun has had a huge boost in damage to vehicles and enemy behemoths. The Scout can now place 2 tripwire bombs instead of the 1 that it could previously. A new graphical toggle has been added to the settings menu. You can now toggle on and off the lens distortion effect. I'm not 100% sure what that actually does, but I turned it off right away. Anything that's post-processed like motion blur or that horrible chromatic aberration, that just gets turned off by me. Ammo and medical crates have had their area of effect increased from 3.5 to 7 meters, so you don't all have to bundle on top of each other to receive the benefits of those crates anymore. And finally, DICE has changed the flash flare so that it will now suppress enemies who stand near it. And this is to boost its overall power and disrupt enemies a little bit more than it did previously. And so there you go. Overall, a very good patch alongside the brand new content. The only thing I think is missing is that rather large weapon balance patch. I was kind of hoping that DICE would add it as a Christmas present to all those Battlefield 1 players out there, but my understanding is that they're still assessing the data, and that the next chance for it to appear is in the January patch with the other two Turning Tides maps. But thank you very much for watching today, and make sure you leave your own thoughts and opinions on this patch down below in the comments section. But until next time, my name is Westie, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.